Count Snoop Dogg amongst the millions and millions of former Disney fans that just don't want to see the agenda being pushed in their faces. Snoop Dogg says, "I'm scared to go to the movies," after Pixar's gay couple in Lightyear led to questions from his grandson. These are kids. Why do we gotta show that at this age? It's so funny, right? I'm a fan of Snoop, have been for a very long time. He's like, one of the last guys that were still active from the early 90s, West Coast, East Coast scene. Everybody else is dead or retired or a bitch like Eminem, who I was never really a big fan of. And yeah, Snoop has done some incredibly questionable things in recent years, especially with his, shots against Trump and conservatives. And then once the winds changed, he was, as the consummate business professional, he was very quick to adjust his tone when he realized that, that's not really the thing to do moving forward. And wasn't he scheduled, or didn't he perform at one of Trump's inaugurations? It's like, I really don't care about the politics of artists. And yeah, when it comes to rap, I even bought his Snoop Lion reggae album. It's actually pretty decent. There's a few good tracks on there. But if he's the guy, okay, and he's going to be the voice of, I'm going to say, the silent majority, which is so wild, right? Okay, the guy who just, rocked up and fucking two of America's Most Wanted, opposite of Tupac. You would look at him and go, hey guys, 25 years from now, he's going to be speaking like a middle-aged housewife, saying we don't want this gay shit in our fucking Disney movies. Can you, really? Like, I can imagine, it's like, that's still going to be the same shit. Well, okay, he's opposite of Tupac, so maybe you wouldn't have been so vocal about him saying, we don't want this gay shit around here. But that is still kind of, the simmering temperament of a lot of the gay community and a lot of the Hispanic community, okay? Because for as much as the Democrats want to tout their, outreach with minorities, you take a look at the social standards, and they are far more strict, far more stringent, far more conservative than your basic bitch white communities. They'll go ahead and they'll espouse all of that shit, but behind closed doors, they're very much going to be, I think it's totally fine if they do that, but no, that would never fly under my roof. Whereas Snoop is just, he's kind of telling it the way that it is. If you want to have that stuff, that's fine. Just don't put it in our kid stuff. What the fuck does it add to anything? But what are we talking about here? Well, there was a clip. He was on a podcast, and he, as Dom Luker, shout out, as it's summarized and clipped out here. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie.
I took my grandson to see, what was the movie with, Buzz Lightyear?
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's called Lightyear.
Kiki Palmer's in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the...
I forgot to mention it. Customary. It's been a minute since, Lightyear has come up in any conversations. That was the one that made Pixar, course correct so spectacularly, because it was such a monumental flop. And it also drove home that Chris Evans, right? Like, he's the quintessential Captain America. Nobody can do it quite like him, but he's not a fucking movie star. You can't outshine the master that is Tim Allen. You're making a Buzz Lightyear, you're making a fucking Lightyear movie, and you don't have Tim Allen as the voice. Like, what are you doing? And it's so funny, right? Because Toy Story 5 is coming out next year, and who's voicing Buzz Lightyear? Yeah, exactly,
the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, no, that is just the stark honesty of a child. 100%. This is something that 100% happened.
Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women. How did she have a baby? Shh. The movie ain't over with. So it's like, fuck me, I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for.
Yeah, exactly. And it didn't add to anything. Here's the thing, okay? One recent piece of media that came to mind where it ended up catching a bunch of shit from a certain demographic that's out there was the lesbian couple in Andor. Oh, no, it's just as lesbians. Oh, they ended up getting a girl boss moment in there that ruined the second arc. Oh my god, it was so stupid. Well, here's the thing. Them being lesbians really didn't have anything to do with their characters. Actually, didn't have anything to do with their characters at all whatsoever. They were presented as a couple who loved each other. One ended up dying. Spoilers. And it showed the grief that somebody who is very immersed in an ongoing mission has to simultaneously navigate all of the emotions of seeing your loved one killed in front of your very eyes by incompetence, and then also having to walk that incompetent person whose actions resulted in her death, having to drive home the fact that, use that death, use that as motivation. Shit like this can never happen again. It's a characteristic. It's not the character. Meanwhile, over in Lightyear, hey, you got two moms. What does that have to do with the rest of the character? She's got two moms. Cool. You didn't need that at all whatsoever. But hey, it was Pixar's first animated, gay kiss on screen. Good for you. You've lost Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg recently appeared on the It's Giving podcast. Oof. And spoke about being scared to bring his grandchildren to the movies after watching 2022's Lightyear. Well, yeah, it was just such a horrific film that I would also be scared to bring anybody to the theater afterwards. Pixar's Toy Story spinoff featured, yes, the voice of Chris Evans. The rapper brought his grandson to watch the animated movie, but did not expect to have to field questions about same-sex couples. Well, yeah, she has two moms. How does a kid show up with two moms? It's like, it's like child trafficking. It's kind of different. A lot of tears and U-Hauls. You wouldn't get a kid. Yes, as the movie features a montage in which two mothers are seen raising their child. That's not the only thing, Variety. They're like, yeah, she had a baby with another woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie is like, Papa Snoop, how'd she have a baby with a woman? She's a woman. Snoop remembered thinking, oh shit, I didn't come to the movies for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. They just said, how'd she have a baby? They're both women. How'd she have a baby? It fucked me up. I'm like scared to go to the movies. Y'all throw me in the middle of that shit and I don't have the answers for. It threw me for a loop. I'm like, what part of the movie is this? These are kids. We have to show this at this age. They're going to ask questions. I don't have the answers. Exactly. You're going to watch a spin-off of the Toy Story movie. You're not anticipating having to navigate same-sex relationships. It is so fucking worthless. It is just a clear activist insertion. It didn't play into the story at all whatsoever. It is just simply go, oh yeah, we need to have gay stuff in here. Why? Because it's for kids. Exactly. Why do you think they got so bent out of shape about the parental rights and education bill? Wasn't that going on at around the same time that Lightyear was failing spectacularly with families? Funny. Lightyear not only featured one of Disney and Pixar's most prominent gay characters, but it also depicted the first, same-sex kiss in a movie that nobody watched. The moment sparked widespread controversy internally at Pixar after the studio considered cutting the same-sex kiss. And it's so funny, right? Because, Lightyear would go on and be maybe Elio's a bigger flop, but at one point in time, at least, at that point in time, Lightyear was the biggest failure under Pixar's umbrella, full stop. And then fast forward to 2024, and with Inside Out 2, how animators were told to get all of that gay shit out of here, it would go on and be the most successful movie of 2024. Funny how that happens. Employees and allies at Pixar sent a joint statement to the Walt Disney Corporation, or company, leadership claiming that Disney executives had actively censored overtly gay affection in the feature films. Yeah, if I would have got that, if I was one of the, Disney leadership and I received that message, I would have just returned a message saying, this is a movie for kids. Keep your gay shit in your gay movies and fuck right off. Yeah, they did not want a Lightyear to be the latest example, and the studio reinstated the kiss as a result. Funny, Variety doesn't want to highlight, I mean, we might as well pull it up. Lightyear made $218 million at the box office during its run. The fact that it didn't even make $4 million on, aftermarket sales, that's pathetic for Disney movies. Like, what the fuck are you doing? But yeah, its because its production budget was $200 million. And I'm sure there's some smooth brains that are out there that if like Culture Crave or Disgusting Film would go ahead and tweet out, oh, Lightyear made $218 million on a $200 million budget, there would be all of those fucking weirdo rainbow enthusiasts going, it made back its budget. But no. We know categorically, like this was the Flashpoint movie. This was the one that, all you freaks wanted the gay kiss in the fucking toy movie. Guess what ended up happening? Yeah, this right here, $218 million at the box office. Good call. Then you remove all of that shit for Inside Out 2. You scrap that animated TV, the TV series, Pixar's first TV series. You get rid of the trans storyline and things come along smoothly. Stop with this shit. It's not resonating with anybody except for those freaks that are employed, or at least they were at the time. Don't really know if they survived the wave of layoffs that have resulted in the aftermath of 2022. It's funny. Disney's going to take a while to fully catch up with the rest of the world, but the rest of the world has already been screaming this for years, and now you're starting to get high-profile individuals like Snoop Dogg coming out and say, yeah, we don't want this. We've never wanted this. What the fuck are you doing? And that's a question that can be asked to a lot of leadership and branches at Disney. What the fuck are you doing? So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.